Okay, next speaker, we're looking now at megatrends. How do we identify and capitalize on those big trends that are changing the way we all live and therefore should change the way we do business? Now, in your programs, you may have seen that we were going to have Hans Hamer speaking. He's unable to make it, so at very short notice, we're very grateful to our next speaker from Auto Bild at Axel Springer for stepping in to handle this presentation. So to speak on how to capitalize a megatrend, please welcome the General Manager at Auto Bild, Alexander Broch.
Yeah, well, thanks, Mike. And very warm welcome from my side. I'm going to tell you a bit how we at Auto Bild try to capitalize on the upcoming trend or a mega trend from our business, the car industry mainly, that is the connected car. Just to give you a very short introduction of where we as the Auto Bild Group stand within Axel Springer and why the things that I'm going to talk about have been a real game changer for us. We're in the business models that Axel Springer has these days in the classical paid models, how we call them, which is classical publications funded by readers who pay for what they get. So this is where Auto Bild and the other brand that is very important for the story that I'm going to talk about in a second, our second brand where we joined forces really for this project is the Computer Bild brand. Both together are in their segments market leader in Europe, and if we sum up their contacts that they're gaining per month, and a combined reach in print, online, and mobile, we're talking about roughly 33 million contacts per month that these two publications make. Now to come up, something went wrong with the image there, but just to give you really a short impression on what, or an introduction, because I'm not sure if everybody is familiar, what is a connected car? Because if you're not working in the industry, it's probably, what is it? Basically, cars that are connected interact in a way with their environment, and we usually divide that into two segments. So you've got safety features on the one hand, so the car interacts with the environment. These are features like pedestrian recognition or the dead angle warning, so new safety features that the cars from different sensors get to add security. This and the other things is that probably all the newer cars have. It's the connection from your smartphone to the car, own app stores in the cars. So this is basically what the two, it's multimedia functions and safety functions. This sums up to what people or in the industry call connected cars. The approach that we went, or we took about connected cars, so that the first step, so we divided in 3 steps. The first step that we've done was the integration into our core business. And if we look at the Auto Bild brand, which was founded in 1986, whenever a topic comes up over time, we just try to get into that niche, to develop that niche, or to have that niche. So the usual process or the usual approach that we're taking is whenever a niche topic comes up, we will create usually an own publication for it so that the growth happens in the niche nowadays for us. For connected car, what we've really started on working with a real concept behind it back in 2012, we had a slightly different approach. So we didn't come up with an extra publication for this. And this time we really joined forces for the brands that I've already mentioned. And we joined the editorial forces there. And what we came up with, we've got a special testing scheme now for the Auto Bild Group, together with the editors from Computer Bild, so that we've got special test criteria for the connection part. So if we're talking about Auto Bild, this is of course focused on the car. On the other hand, we also have special connected car content in almost every Computer Bild issue and also print and also digital. If we're talking about the computer build, this is, of course, focused more on the tech part, so on the gadget itself, and not on the car. So all the functionalities that the car offers. So this was really, for our main brands, the integration that we've done. We've then spread this whole thing over all our other publications, because the connected thing is so booming and everybody is talking about, so that you also have, like if you see on the right, so our segmentation, the picture on the bottom left, our RV magazines, even RVs are connected these days. So we've spread all the information and the knowledge that we've gained over all our other publications. So that there is connected content in every of our publications these days. And on top, to go a step further, we also come up with special editions for topics that are very close connected to the connection part, like an e-mobility special that we've done. All this was done basically to fulfill two needs. On the one hand, there was a rising interest from the reader side. So readers are interested in the new technologies, so we fulfilled that. And on the other side, we just simply raised potentials for advertising clients that we didn't have in that scale before, because the companies that you see on the left, like Schaeffler and ZF, are typical suppliers for the car industry that don't usually are too prominent, because their services are integrated in the cars. And if you drive a proper BMW, you probably don't know who is the technology supplier for that features. But with focusing on the technology, we gave these companies a relevant environment to advertise with us. Another component that we usually have in our brand portfolio are events and awards, so in our core business. And we decided in 2013, to do an own award for connected cars. So we award the yearly innovations from the industry. And we have the award ceremony on the CES in Las Vegas every year. You can ask why the CES, because to innovate or to award innovations. The thing is that a couple of years ago, the car industry really focused on the CES to present their newest innovations instead of classical motor shows. So this was the perfect location for us to go there, to have to get in contact with the industry again, establish further contact with them, and have a high brand visibility and strengthen our competence in that field. And then the next step for us was, because the Auto Bild brand is an international brand with licensed partners or editions in 29 countries around the world. With the distribution of our content, we were also able to distribute the topic connected car to all our licensed partners. So basically what we've done in the first step is that in every part, in every section that we usually think of our business, we've integrated this topic, connected car. So we've spread it over our main magazines, our line extensions, our international editions, events and awards. And the last thing that we usually think of, or that we try to think of, are products in a way. And that is the second step that we're really facing and that we've done. And this, in this case, was a real game changer for us, because we had the classical decision, what should we do? Should we make or buy something? So in the first step, we decided for a buy decision. So we've bought an app and service in Germany that is probably a German thing. In Germany, fuel comparison is a big thing. So people look around where you get the cheapest petrol in your area. So and the service is doing nothing else than saying you're in that area, you want to have diesel gasoline, and the cheapest petrol station in the region is this one. And then you can be directed, and they say, the app tells you what are the payment methods that they accept, and so on and so forth. So it's basically data information and a service that gives you fuel price information. The business model for the app, and the app was profitable and running during that time, was basically focused on advertising, so that you had the website and the app that was financed by classic advertisement. Another one that they had was location-based services. It was, or the service is called Clever Deals. So advertisers can, based on location, advertise there, and we would put out local offerings. There was another thing, and that was really where we came into that product development part, that wasn't that well in place at the moment when we stepped in, was the license of the data. So the data was, during that time, also licensed to some partners who just took the data of the fuel prices to work on that. What we've done, and where we thought, well, that could be an option, so we built on the context in the industry that we had, and we realized, and that was the real game-changing move for us, we've managed to integrate our service within the Volkswagen Group and within Skoda. So during the context that we've built up over the years, we were able to sit together with them and say, well, we've got this service, we've taken this company, and we would like to get in touch with you. And so we've managed, as of now, or until now, to be in most of the models of these two brands, so that you can connect your smartphone, and then you've got our app, the service on the screen, on the built-in screen of the cars. For Skoda, it's a bit different. So they've got, together, launched with their new Kodiaq, their premium SUV. They've gotten one app that is your one device that where you use your Skoda with, and we're integrated in that app as a service. So we really did the change, and that was for us really interesting, so that we're not a media company any longer, but we're talking with different guys at the industry, and we're like a mobile or a service provider now for this case. So this is really interesting for us to get a service that is in the car, and that we are talking to different people now, and not only are recognized as a media company. What we're developing at the moment, because the industry is also changing very rapidly, and e-mobility will be the next thing. At the moment, we are developing our service to a charging a local charging overview system, so that we're not talking about petrol stations any longer, but we're talking about charging points. So in Germany, the situation is very fragmented at the moment. So you've got different suppliers of the charging points. You've got different payment models. So there is a big need for an overview and a service that collects all the information and gives you the relevant information if you want to use your car. So for us, that was really the first time that at least we're at a company, or a part of the company that is classical media publication, is now, at least with a very small service, a product provider for the car industry, and not only a media company any longer. And yeah, with Clever Ladung, we just prepared for the future. So the last point, and that is really, at least until today, look into the future. What our long-term strategy is to merge these two, so that we will be able to integrate our core business as a service provider into the car. The idea behind that is really that with the rise of self-driving cars, and that will be the basis for a proper usage of media in the car, that this will change everything. So if the car will take care of the driving, which the figures differ a bit, but somewhere in the area between 2020 and 2025, we will have a relevant number of self-driving cars on the streets that will change everything. So every new concept car has massive screens inside the car. So this will really change a lot of things. And for us, really, the aim is to be very, very close to the development of this new products, so to be able to not be in the position that we're there, that someday the cars are there, and we have to see how we can integrate our media or how we can profit from that, so that we will be very close to the industry and drive this change together with the industry. And we hope to establish scalable new revenue streams for that, so that we will have an option to be in the car. To sum up what I've just presented is really the approach that we took on the car industry megatrend connected car. We've spread it into our core business, and we've done that with every little detail that we could imagine of. The second is really that we've taken over the product, changed our role to a service provider, and the future step must be to merge these two together. And just because this whole connected thing, as the last word, is very much driving us. We've also done this with all different topics that usually are on our minds. So we've have connected things with around gardening, around the kitchen, around sports, so that we try to have this connected aspect, because that is a boom topic in every other industry as well. So that is our approach to connected world.
Thank you. Alexander, thank you. That was a tremendous, a really interesting story, absolutely fascinating. Will you take a question if there is one?
Yeah, sure.
Clearly I have one as usual, but raise your hand if you'd like to ask a question. And while you're plucking up the courage, I will ask my one here. Now, that's a good point. Where's the box gone? Oh, I didn't get to throw it. That was... Yeah, I really do, you know. There you go. Now our functions are complete.
Hello, yeah, great presentation. I would like to know how you perceive and how do you construct business plans based on those megatrends of the future, because companies like Axel Springer and also like Gruner & Jahr, where we're working, everybody's asking, okay, how much do we invest and when does it pay off? And this megatrends of the future, meaning the market is not there yet. So how do you handle that?
Well, especially for this case, that was rather, no, it wasn't easy for us, but because we started with the integration in the core business, we knew that there was a demand because the cars were coming up, so the industry had the demand to advertise, so we just created an environment. So we had a rather soft launch to the whole topic. So the integration in our core business was, we just tried it, but we didn't have to take too many risks, because with starting to put up a bit of content there and here, and then set up an award, there wasn't a too big risk, so there was no real business plan behind that. And the step to buy Clever Tanken as a service, that was simply a profitable business when we bought it, so there was no real risk at that. So, and the investments that we're taking at the moment, because we have like a proven concept, that the topic is there and the topic will grow. So therefore we're now in the comfortable position to be able to invest in a thing that we know we get relevant revenues out of already. So.
Thank you. And one more, just very quick one from me. In terms of seeing these megatrends, and particularly the ideas around driverless vehicles and the move to electric charging, do you have a specialist team that looks for this, or is it the responsibility of everyone in the existing organization to be looking for these trends?
It's more like that, really. There is no specialist team that would try to detect trends. It's really, I mean, the good thing is and we had the very good contacts in the industry before, so our editors are invited in very early stages to see what the OEMs are going to set up in the future. So they're very close to the development anyhow, so in a very early phase. So that helps just to see trends.
Makes absolute sense. Ladies and gentlemen, please thank Alexander. Thank you. Okay, coffee break now. We'll be restarting at 11:20. In here, for the advertising panel, Google and Facebook and how that affects us. And in the other theatres, for how to make more out of Facebook and finding and keeping good people. So as prompt as you can, please, 11:20 restart.
Tonight.